At the time of this video going live, it has been 365 days, 1 year since Final Fantasy Rebirth has dropped. Reflecting back on it, it was a game that I absolutely loved. My game of the year 2024, and I'm thoroughly excited for part 3. So I want to slowly start to get that ball rolling of speculation and everything else in between, leading up to its potential reveal this year, maybe? I guess we'll see, but I'm excited to start all over again, seeing the trailers, seeing what we can expect, and then ultimately diving into part 3. So in today's video, I want to ask a simple question. What will Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3 be called? I have an answer that I think it will be, but that does not mean it's true. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm hoping for a discussion. So with that being said, what is up guys? Jen here. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel. If you like what you are seeing, please consider supporting the channel and hitting that like button. And if you want to stick around for some more Final Fantasy content, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. So we're going to dive straight into it, and there's many opinions, I guess you could say, of what the title might be, but we're going to go over some facts, and then I'm going to go over ultimately what I think the title will be and why. Again, I'm not saying it's right, I just feel it to be maybe the right title, and that's absolutely fine. But let's go over the facts, shall we? The games we have at the moment is Remake and Rebirth. And there are only 2 factors that we can go off to try and get a inkling of what the third title might be. The first one is going off the soundtrack listing, in particular the One Winged Angel track, because in the remake soundtrack it was called One Winged Angel Rebirth, and then of course the next game is called Rebirth, so instantly we are making a connection there. If we're going off that basis, looking at the Rebirth soundtrack, the One Winged Angel track is called One Winged Angel Reborn. So we would expect, using that theory, that Final Fantasy VII Part 3 will be called Final Fantasy VII Reborn. Now, when I say that out loud, it doesn't sound right, but at the same time, I never thought Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sounded right, but now it rolls off the tongue so naturally. So there is a possibility of the third game being called Reborn, because there is a lot of things being reborn within the game, whether that's Sephiroth to his full potential, these worlds merging and being reborn as one, Zack being reborn wherever he's being reborn in Final Fantasy VII at this time. Aerith, well, she's dead, but there is possibility of it being reborn. I don't think it will be, but using that basis, you would think that, hey, that's what it could be. The next one is a very simple one, and that is the 2-syllable words. So we have remake, we have rebirth. You would think, going off this basis, that the next game is going to be a 2-syllable reword. So there are many things that we could dive into, and the thing that I've settled on follows that trait, but we'll go into that into the end of the video. If you've guessed it, let me know in the comment section down below. But we could go off many things. There's so many 2-syllable rewords out there. I'm just going to throw a few out there. They're random, I'm reading it off a list, but we've got record, recent, reduce, refine, reflect, reform, refund. I'm sure a lot of people have jokes with that one. Regard, release, relief, remain, remote, repair, repeat, replace, reserve, revive, resume, restore. There's so many out there that could be a potential name for the third part of Final Fantasy VII. And that leads us to the 2-syllable reword that I think it will be. And I've thought this ever since we had Rebirth revealed. I've got the tweet, I've made an image, I even snuck a little bit of an animated logo reveal in one of my earlier videos, and that is return. I don't know if it's because I said it so many times to myself, saying Final Fantasy VII Return, and that I've embedded it in myself that it sounds right, but to me it does sound right. And then there's other things that you can relate it to. But I think a lot of these words you could relate to the story of Final Fantasy VII, but I'm going to do this with return. The first one being return to the planet. Cloud returning to himself. Zack, wherever he may be right now, but returning where he should be. Aerith is going to be present with us in this journey, but eventually she is going to return. Sephiroth also going to return after all of this is said and done. And then there's some other ones, just like I've made the logo look a lot like the original logo with the greeny blue Makoe type color scheme. So just a return to form for me, a return to base, just bringing it full circle. There's so many returning factors to using the word return as the title, and I've personally sold myself on it, and I don't think I'm going to budge. So I'm really interested to hear your opinions on return, but I would also like to hear your opinions on any other words out there, because I've heard other things out there, and there's two I want to go over in particular. The first one being Requiem. I think Requiem is a really cool sounding word, and saying Final Fantasy VII Requiem just sounds like a really cool video game name, especially as a part 3 of a series. Not got much else to say about that, but there is one other word that I want to talk about, and I do think it has a potential to be used, and that word is reunion. But Jen, it's been used in Crisis Core. That's true. Doesn't mean it can't be used again. And I know that we've seen in certain interviews that reunion was going to get used as the second game, but they made a comment saying since we used it in Crisis Core, we decided not to use it. That could be a quick sleight of hand on their part, taking us off the trail, because the biggest mystery right now is what is the name of the game? Reunion does make sense for the third game. Like, it's what we're heading towards, right? It's what it's culminating to. It's what this final part of Final Fantasy VII is all about. It's about reunion. We are reuniting. Reunite is also one, but we're going to stick with reunion here. It all leads to this, reuniting with everything that we've done so far, and reunion definitely fits the bill. But I know that the argument of it already being used in a Final Fantasy VII property means that we might not see it again, but I am open for it to be used again, and I think there is a possibility of it being used, but I am pretty set on return being the title for the third game. Allow me to say it one more time. Final Fantasy VII Return. Sound good? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. But this isn't the one and only video that we're going to be doing on part 3 of Final Fantasy VII. No. We are going to sit at our speculation stations and really start riding this wave towards that third game. So I'm hoping you can join me for that. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. And until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side.